right.
I love that.
Welcome to Cafecito con Alma, another episode. Today is the women's panel with my co-host, Bidi Juarez.
Disconnected.
And we have our special guest, Miss Patsy Torres. Welcome.
Pleasure to be with you, girls.
Yes, thank you. So today it is Hispanic Heritage Month, and we wanted to share with you our culture and some of our traditions. So today we'll be talking a little bit about that. But before I get started, we'd like to thank the Covert family for making all this possible. Because of the Covert family, Cafecito con Alma came about. So thank you, Dan Covert and family. And we also have a new sponsor that is now collaborating with us here at Covert. We are sponsored today by JD's Supermarket, who will be having a grand opening on Sunday, where Patsy and I will be sharing the stage. We'll be singing some songs with some mariachis as well. So we're gonna get started by kind of sharing with you. Can you share with us while I get us situated here what we've got going on here?
Yes, we have tamales here.
All the staples.
Yes, we have fruit and we also have our coffee, Hebrews.
Ooh, delicious coffee.
So
I'm dulce.
yes, and we have, of course, our orange juice coffee.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of yummies.
Yeah.
Good stuff here.
So we're gonna get connected here and play some of Patsy's music. Which one is it?
Yes, I have a brand new album that I'm promoting. I'm really excited. It's called Dame tu corazón, which means give me your heart. And I just released it, so it's brand new, and I'm just releasing singles.
It's right here, guys.
Oh yeah, it's right down there.
Where can they order it?
You can actually order it on the actual CD on cdbaby.com, or you can download it from any of your favorite social platforms, you know, any of them, iTunes, Spotify,
Pandora,
all of those.
Okay.
Or if you want a signed CD from me, you can inbox me from Facebook Messenger, inbox me with your email address, and I will send you a PayPal invoice, and I'll sign it for you, and you can order it through me.
Oh, wonderful.
Great.
But we're gonna raffle this one off. We're gonna do a giveaway. So we're
And
gonna
I will sign it.
Yeah, she'll sign it. We'll put out when we're gonna do that giveaway once we're all done here. She's got a lot of collectibles. You gotta check out her merch. We'll go more into that. We wanted to share with you today, and actually the single is playing right now. This is Noticias Falsas, right?
Noticias falsas. Es todo. It says it all right there.
Yes. And we had kind of a little bit of an experience with that last night, right?
Oh, yes.
We won't get into that. I do want to share. We do want to share this is a real raw show, and we know the internet can be brutal, and we just had a little experience with that last night, but it's all fun and games. We don't take it seriously. But yes, we promote positive affirmations, no negativity. So you know you get blocked.
Yes. Blocked, erased, hidden, whatever.
Yeah. So I have to say, I've been having a lot of fun this week, dressing up, you know, very culturally, and our attire. Bidi found this on Facebook store, and it's called Galvez Western Wear.
Western wear.
Yeah. And so I ordered a couple of outfits from there, and I was like, this is perfect for a show.
They
So
have
colorful. I
beautiful
love it.
dresses, skirts, shirts, you name it. They have it.
So it's fun, you know, to kind of bring that back out and dress up. And I've been, for the last couple of years that I've been doing public relations and marketing, I always remember those months, and I always dress the part. So
Well, that's a fun part, right?
yes, it's a lot of fun.
And then they remember, you know, like when you said, let's dress Mexican heritage or Hispanic heritage. You know, right away I was like, okay. I'm gonna do a señorita.
Yes. Yes, I'm very proud to be Hispanic. And, you know, I felt that this was important to share. This is who we are. We have shows every week relating to our traditions and where our music came from. And so, what better person to have? Someone who's been in the industry country for a very long time.
Thank you.
You have a lot of music out there. I was like, okay, trying to create a playlist. It just went on and on.
Also, I am half Mexican.
Yeah?
My father came from Mexico.
Wow.
My grandfather came from Mexico in the 40s.
Oh, okay.
Dr. William Torres.
Wow.
Brought his family. He actually worked at Los Alamos for a little while during the 40s, during, they were making the bomb. And then he was part of a team that was studying Hiroshima, what happened after the bomb hit and all that.
Yeah.
So then my father was about in his teens, I think, when they moved here. So they were raised in San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
And then my father joined the army and left. Well, meanwhile, my mother, who is Anglo from Oregon, Grants Pass, Oregon, she joins the army too, and they're both just teenagers.
Oh, and they met there.
They met in Japan, fell in love, got married, made me. Then they rushed back to the States in San Antonio, where I was born in San Antonio.
Oh.
So here I was, a white mother, a Mexican father, and I would have been born in Japan.
Yeah.
I always say my father wanted a Sony, but he got a girly. But so I'm Mexican American.
Yeah.
Well, I know I'm Mexican American as well, but Vidi was born in Mexico.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Actually, I was born in Ojinaga, Chihuahua. So I was about 5 when we came to the United States. We lived in Odessa, Texas.
Beautiful.
And Spanish was my first language, actually. And I didn't learn English until I was in probably first grade. So yeah, my parents don't speak English, So we're Mexican.
My grandmother
We're Mexico.
My grandmother didn't speak English either, but my grandfather was, because he was an educated man. He was, being a doctor. He spoke French, Latin, of course, Spanish and English, and he was like a walking library.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
my best friend Ronnie, she met him. She lived with us for a while.
Oh,
She
okay.
knew my grandfather. Ronnie is with your new sponsor.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yes. It's because you said Ronnie.
I'm sorry.
I was like, Ronnie.
They know it's for Ronnie. She's Ronnie to me.
Only you.
She even told me.
We're not allowed to call her that.
Because back in the day it was Ronnie, but now she's Veronica.
Veronica.
Let me tell you, Veronica is a super awesome person.
Yes.
She's got a big heart, and she has been a big part of Cafecito too.
Yes.
She actually introduced me to Patsy.
Yes.
She was like, I love your show. She goes, hey, Patsy's my best friend. You gotta get her on your show. I said, pues dale, give me her number.
She's like,
So I was born and raised in Washington State. My dad is from Texas, and so is my mom. My dad's from West Texas, Plainview. No joke, it's Plain.
but do you have family in Washington State
And
still?
all my family's over there.
With all that stuff that's happening?
Yes.
Oh my
And
gosh.
they actually want to come visit because of the fires
Oh my
going
goodness.
on. It's
Our
like
prayers
really
go
dark
out
over
to
there.
them.
Yes. And so my mom is from Edinburgh, but my dad's parents were born in Mexico, and my mom's parents were born here in Texas. So I'm Mexican American.
Yep.
We were migrants. She grew up and was raised here in Texas, and then, I was made in Washington. I was made in Washington.
And where were you born?
Sunnyside, Washington.
Okay.
Yes. Shout out to my Washingtonians.
And our prayers are with you.
Yes, we got great support from them. My dad just called me this morning actually saying, hey, mijita, I think we're going to take a week's vacation. We need to get out of here.
We need air.
Yes, well, it's really dark over there. And they're also, because it's dark when I know Alaska goes through this a lot. When it's dark or it rains a lot, people get depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
People get depressed, and that's a high rate for suicide. And so he's like, we're just stuck at home, as it is, there's the pandemic and now the fires, and so they're going to be coming soon. But growing up, I'll share my growing up as a kid. I was always with my grandma. With my grandma, we'd get up at 5 a.m. in the morning. My parents were always at work and work shift work. Sometimes they worked at night, and we're sleeping during the day, or we're in the fields, during the early mornings. So my mom would leave us with her mom, which is my grandma, Guadalupe. I used to say my name was Guadalupe because I admired my grandmother so much.
Oh.
And so when I would get in trouble, my dad would say, Lupe, Guadalupe, ven acá. So
He would actually call you that.
yes, because I would tell him, they would ask me what's your name, Alma Guadalupe Nunez. I don't have a middle name.
You just wanted to be a
I
Guadalupe.
admired my grandmother that much. I admired her so much. So we would get up at 5 a.m. and there with the mariachi music going full blast, making tortillas. So my grandmother sang. So that's how my mom sang. And that's where I guess I got my intuition to sing as well. So I grew up singing with my grandmother a lot.
Aww.
I never really got to hear my mom sing, just murmuring here and there. She was that was in her younger days. She said that's what she always tells me. Whether you're a performer or not anymore, use it or you're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
So we sing every day at my house. With my kids, I sing with my daughter, and I try to pass on these
That's the
traditions.
funnest part.
Yes.
Well, music's a God-given gift.
Yeah.
It's something we're meant to do and meant to share.
Mhm.
And it's meant to touch other people's lives, whether it's inspiration, motivation, or information, or just entertainment. Just lift them up.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
No, I never sang when I was little.
No?
Mm-mm.
How old were you when you started singing?
I was in college.
Really? Wow. Most artists are like,
What
I've been
made
singing
you?
since I was 3.
What made you want to sing?
I didn't want to sing. The band, I was a trumpet player.
Oh.
I was a trumpet player in the school band, and the only reason I picked up the trumpet was because my sister picked up the saxophone, and she got out of class all the time, band, and
So you wanted to get out
and
of
I was
class.
like, hey, I want to get out of class. I'll play anything. I didn't care if there was a tuba in that closet. My grandfather had a little rusty-looking trumpet. I go, I'll play it.
Yeah.
I just started practicing. I got into the A band and got out of class. And then we got a challenge because one time we saw a band playing at one of the school dances, and I was like, they're not very good. My friends were like, that's not nice, Patsy. You think you could do better? I was like, yeah, I can make a better band.
Oh.
So we made a little group, just all the friends from band, and we did the talent show at the school, and we won. So we're like, oh wow, we won. Hey, maybe we can make some money.
Yeah.
And we started playing for some school functions. We made like $5 a piece.
Wow.
I mean, we didn't even really have equipment. We were singing out of the guitar player's amp and stuff, but
How
it
crazy.
was like, oh, it's cool, but I was going to be a doctor like my grandfather.
Uh-huh.
That was my dream. So this was just something, on the side.
On the side.
So when we graduated, the band, some of the guys left into the military. My sister got married, left the band, started having babies right away. And then I was just left there, and these new guys came in, older guys.
Yeah.
We were like 21, old. And they're like, oh, we're going to bring these other guys in. And they started kicking all the brass players out. Because we're getting a keyboard player. We don't need brass anymore. And I was just a trumpet player. I'm like, I had just started college, paying for my apartment, my books. I'm like, what am I going to do? And they go, well, if you could sing, we can maybe keep you a little bit. We'll try you out, see if you could sing. Because some of the bands were just getting girl singers.
Yeah.
And we played everything. It was a cover band.
Uh-huh.
I was like, okay, I'll try. And I started to sing. And I go, okay. And 6 months later, I was singing at a wedding. And we were discovered by a Tejano promoter. And he goes, I want the girl on a record. I'm like, oh my God. And I got a record deal.
How old were you?
I had just got out of high school, so I was like 19.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I said, but, hey, pay the bill.
Yeah.
And
you still finished college?
yes,
You still got your degree?
it was killing me though,
Oh.
because I was getting in like 4 o'clock in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and then I'd have a 7:30 a.m. inorganic chemistry class.
Oh my God.
And here I am trying to do homework, and we're getting bookings, and
Yeah.
the band was doing really good, and I was getting 100% to either one, but I graduated, got my science degree, and then I sat down with my grandfather, and I said, okay, I can't do both anymore. And he was like, no, you can't. You can hear his voice, right? And I said, I can't give 100% to each. No, you can't. And I just wanted to say it, hit school, and that's it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And he goes, Chiquitita, you have a God-given gift. You can do preventative medicine. You can be a doctor of the spirit. You should sing.
Wow.
And the reason he said that was because once I started singing, and I started going to radio stations because of the record. It was like hit number one right away. I'm like, oh yeah, you just do a record, it hits number one. That's because I don't know.
You didn't know you had to promote.
You think it's easy because you don't realize until later how good it was. And but they'd say, oh, so what are you gonna do? I said, well, I'm a trumpet player that's gonna be a doctor. Who's your inspiration? My grandfather, Dr. Torres. And they're like, she's not giving me anything. How long have you been singing? 9 months.
Wow.
So I was just like, okay, and I'm going to school, so when they found that out, I started getting all these calls to go speak at schools for career days. There was the fireman, the lawyer, the politician, and then me, the singer. Like, but stay in school, don't do drugs. So when my grandfather said that, he said that I could use that platform. And from then on, I did. I didn't go back to school, and we made a special program called the Positive Force Tour where we toured high schools. And when we first decided to do it, they said, oh, high school, it's too late for them. They're already gone. You should do the little kids. I said, well, there was a lot of different groups doing there was little police and firemen bands that were doing the kids. And nobody was doing the high schools. They were like, oh, it's too late. And that's when the gangs were really bad.
Oh.
And I said, we're doing the high schools. We went in there and we changed lives. The kids actually came up to me after a show with their bandana and said, I'm quitting the gang. Or I was thinking of killing myself, but now I want to live. It was like, because I would talk about my childhood, I would share things with them. The music we would do had a message in it. And it was, I was saying education, and at one point I was like, yeah, but I didn't continue. So I'm telling them, go on as far as you can. Well, God has a way. God has plans. And I got a call from the University of Incarnate Word in San Antonio. And they said, Patsy, we'd like you to do some promos for us, commercials, sing, do different things. We can only pay you with semester hours. I'm like, okay. I guess, God, you want me to take some courses? Okay. I started taking some courses, and they said, you're doing really great. You're making A's. Would you like to get a degree here? And I was like, yeah, we'll give you a scholarship. Okay, I can finish that. What do you want it in? Do you want it in chemistry? Because I had all this stuff. I was like, no.
I don't want to go back to that.
How about music? And I said, I already kind of got that. And I said, education. Because I'm talking to these kids and it teaches you all these things about transformation and transactional teaching. So I said, I'm going to do education. So I got a master's in education from the University of Incarnate Word.
Wow.
Nice.
Then the professors talked to the presidents and they said, Patsy made straight A's. We think she should go on for a PhD. And they're like, what? I'm like, what? And they said, we'll give you a scholarship. No student loan. No.
Wow.
And I'm like, God, you want me to go for that? I didn't even dream of that or think of it. And when I told my family and friends, they're like, what? What do you need that for? You're a singer, you don't need that. I'm like, yeah, but you're going to give me a scholarship. They go, how long does it take? 5 to 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And they go, oh, that's not good. and I said, you know what? They're going to give me a scholarship in 5 to 10 years. I could just be older, or I can have a PhD.
Yeah.
It's a scholarship. It's free. So they're like, all right. But I had to pass all the entrance exams. And one of the also the things that they said was I couldn't take a break. I had to go in the summer, so it was constant, no breaks whatsoever.
For 5 years? Straight? Wow.
And I don't know how I did it. I remember I was in Japan emailing my assignments in. I remember traveling all over the United States and stopping at Kinko's at 2 in the morning because I had to take something else out and get it in the morning because we had just finished a gig.
Oh, wow.
And then I remember being in the hotel And the band, well, we're all going to dinner. I go, it's okay, you bring me back a burger. I'm staying there doing my homework. And in the bus, and the plane, I taught myself just to study and not get car sick or anything like I used to. I would just be in that and study and read. And before the 5 years were up, one of my classmates says, hey, what's it gonna feel like when they call you Dr. Torres? And I went, my dream came true. Dr. Torres.
So you have a PhD?
I have a PhD,
Oh that is amazing. That is not easy.
Yes.
Wow. No, my mother-in-law just graduated and she's a nurse practitioner now too.
Awesome.
She's like a doctor and she did it too. She did it at a certain age. Well, I'm not gonna give her age.
Well, you can
But
go back
she
to
started
the
having
time, though.
she started having grandkids, and at first that was hard for us to understand. It's like, hey, the grandkids are here, you know. But she was always studying, and I admire her so much. I do. I mean, she finished. She stuck it out. She had a lot of objections. I mean, a lot of barriers.
Oh, I know.
And she made it. I mean, there was times because even I was taking online classes because she inspired me. You know, to take my online classes. It was my bucket list as well. And I ended up crying my eyes out with her one time. I'm like, we've been moving and it's hard and I'm in the middle of a move and I'm in school. But I mean, we're that example for our kids, you know. When
Everything's possible.
Yes.
My
So
brothers and sisters went back to school, got their bachelor's and their master's.
Wow.
And I know they wouldn't have done it if they hadn't been at my graduation and
Yeah,
saw the
and
whole
see,
hoopla.
yeah.
You know, they're like, and they all went back to school.
So going back to our roots, I mean, it was not in our family, in my mom's family, hardly any of them graduated. They worked the fields, they went on and got regular jobs. My mom was the first one to go to college, you know, and then she worked for law enforcement in Prosser, Washington. And so she, of course, helped a lot of family out and, you know, took care of my grandmother when she was sick from cancer. And so I got to spend a lot of time with my grandmother. I was the translator for the family because all my cousins did not speak Spanish. So I was always translating for grandma and, and we called her a mom. And so, you know, it just, when this month came about, and this is what I love what I do with Covert, is, you know, we're all about the people. And, you know, I was like, I get to share every observance, every national observance, you know, and, you know, share it with the world. And so I was like, Hispanic Heritage Month is coming.
Yes.
We're going to plan all these things out. And it's just, I've always been proud of who I am and where I came from. But as we get older, it just means so much more. I mean, you see how those things pass on to your children, and where I got to see where my parents were, where we struggled, to where I fought hard to be who I am today and be that example for my kids. You know, my son is graduating with an associate's and is going to be going to UT. So I just found that out. I was a proud mom. But I mean,
as adults, we are all role models, and we have to realize the kids are watching us. Other people are watching us, and when we're out in the light of the with celebrities or people like right now, they see you all the time. They see you, so you have to be more aware of them watching you, what you say, what you do, because they will emulate you, and not just kids, but older people too. They will. They'll see what they did. Oh, because they did it, or because they said it, or because they thought it, or because they like it. You know, and it's they follow us all the time.
you know, I'm gonna get money.
The beauty about the Hispanic culture is that we're so family oriented.
Yes.
You know, it's like you said, and they always want their kids to do better. You know, they push them, like you said, if they didn't get to go to school, they're like, go to school, go to school.
Yeah.
And my grandfather, he was educated, so he was like, you know, school. So for him to say, sing,
that
what
was
did,
a shock.
I felt like God was talking to him through that.
Yeah,
I wish he
you
had
know
lived to
what?
see
I
it.
feel like grandparents want what you want deep down. You know what I mean? Maybe deep down you saw that you really wanted to sing.
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't. I was.
You didn't enjoy
You were
it?
sure.
But maybe you enjoyed it and you saw
I enjoyed
that.
it, but I felt
You
like
know?
I was cheating. I felt like this is too much fun. I'm supposed to be because I wanted to be like a surgeon, a pediatrician.
Yeah.
I said I should be in there saving lives, and not over here. I felt like it wasn't fair because my faith is very strong, and I felt like I've got to be what God wants me to be.
Yeah.
And when my grandfather said that, I was shocked. And even then I thought, well, maybe I'll go back to school sometime, which I did, but God made it in a different way. And ever since, well, even before then, but since then, my credibility is so much more because of the PhD. Because I speak at teachers' conventions, and I speak to all these different organizations. And because of my PhD, they'll be announcing me, I'll be backstage, and they'll be, and Patsy Torres, and she's been to Japan and China, Korea, Germany, da 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 da, and the people are like, and she has a PhD, and they're like, oh.
Yeah.
You just see the difference, like, wow, the credibility, and then when I'm here speaking to teachers and principals and giving them advice because of what I learned. Well, my degree's in education and organizational leadership.
Yeah.
So we're all of the behavioral and all of that part. So, and we also do consulting and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I got into music since I was 3 years old, but I joined bands when I was 13.
What did you play? Oh,
I know. I played the bass clarinet, girl. That didn't last long. I like the microphone better.
You can't do both. That is the problem.
No, so I joined a band, a Tejano band back home. I sang with Grupo Energía and La Realidad at one point. And they were a local band there. But our traditions were every Sunday, backyard barbecue. Backyard barbecue every Sunday, lots of food, or we killed an animal. We were that family.
A chicken.
No, girl, like cows and pigs.
Cabrito.
My dad's dad, when we were on my dad's side of the family, he would be like, vengan todos, vamos a matar un marrano. And there they are, peeling it and making chicharrones.
Wow.
Yes. And then when we were with my mom's side of the family, they
invite me.
Invite me when it looks like this.
But it would become a day event. They would start early. They would start early, and then we'd get there to make the sides. And then when it was a finished product, we'd yeah. We weren't in the back with the guys while they were doing all that.
Okay.
But on my mom's side of the family, it was always just a huge barbecue and lots of food. And then by the time they put on the music, they bring out the karaoke machine, and there we go. We were all singing.
There was Alma.
No, they used to quiz me. They used to quiz me and say, hey, who's this singer? And who's this singer? And they would pick old albums. Hey, who's this? And I always got it right, because that's how much my parents instilled music in me.
Lola Beltran.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking, old music, like Latin Breed.
But how old were you?
I was, at that age, I was probably like 6 or 7.
Oh, you were
Yes.
small.
And I used to be on a kids show called Jardín de los Niños.
Oh.
Yes. And so and I was always listening to different music, but growing up with my parents, music is a big part of our tradition.
Yes.
And it's involved in everything that we do. Look what we're doing now. We've got the music in the background, because that's just what...
And we're going to be with mariachis on Sunday.
Yes, we are. So that's something that, it's a big part of our tradition. And so growing up, it was always, instilling music in everything. I put music into everything that I did. And even now, even when we're cleaning house.
Oh, that's the best time.
Yeah. Saturday morning, your mom would wake you up with the radio full blast.
So,
of Mexican music,
Mexican music, making a big breakfast.
Yes.
With your tortillas. I used to love the atole. My grandmother used to make atole, and she used to put raisins in it. Yes, and with the toast. So that was one of my favorite breakfasts. But there's just so many. We can go on and on and on. What was your favorite breakfast?
I like everything. Whatever you.
Steak and eggs.
Eating that food.
I love tamales.
Yes.
Tamales is hands down one of my favorites. Like pork tamales, amazing.
Yeah. Well,
And I come from Mexico, so to me this is amazing.
what were some of your traditions growing up?
Growing up, well, we did we had a lot of dulce. We had barbecues, piñatas, quinceañeras. You know, I had a quinceañera in Mexico. My daughter had a quinceañera too.
Yes.
And so yeah, we would celebrate everything with a piñata.
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo. You know, we would have barbecues. We would make tamales, same thing. We would make cabrito, kill a cow, you name it. We would do all that.
I still have my quinceañera dress. I had a
Oh, I
quinceañera
have
too.
mine too. I have mine.
I still have it.
Well, my mom has it, but yeah, we still have all my stuff is still at my mom's house.
I was sharing on one of my lives that my Aunt Rosemary, my dad's sister, I loved my dress so much, and I was so scared to get it dirty. I was like, I was just stressing, really stressing. You know? There was two excitements, that I could wear makeup and I could wear the big, beautiful dress.
Yeah.
Because back in those days, our tradition is we could not wear makeup until our quinceañera.
Yeah. So you're 15. You
Yes.
can't do your hair, dye your
You
hair.
can't dye your hair.
You cannot do your eyebrows, like plug out your eyebrows.
We had hairy brows, girl.
You cannot do your makeup until you're 15. You cannot have a boyfriend until you're 15 too. In my tradition.
That's the same way I grew up. Very strict parents.
Yeah.
I think that's, yeah, when you talk about age, but they didn't say until you're like, it just didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, my mom was always,
It was a given.
yeah, it was always,
That's
no,
all there
because
is.
you're not 15 yet. No, because you're not 15 yet. You know? Mom, can I plug out my eyebrows? No, you're not 15 yet. You know? So everything was, you're not 15.
I remember one time I was so eager to wear makeup, and my mom's like, "You don't need it. You don't need it." And me, sneaky, grabbed my cousin's lipstick. I'm gonna wear lipstick to school. Like, I want to wear makeup.
You
So-
were 15?
No, I wasn't 15 yet. We weren't allowed to. I was probably 13 or 14 when I started to get into makeup. And well, I was performed too, so I was like, I couldn't even wear makeup to perform. Like, my parents were strict. And so I take it and I put it on, and I'm feeling like beautiful. I'm wearing lipstick at school. You know, that was the thing. So then I ran to the restroom after school before I went home, and I'm like rubbing off the makeup.
Trying to take it off.
Take it all off. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'll put chapstick, and I go. And my dad looks at me, and you've got that innocent guilt. Like, can he tell? Can he tell? Does he know? Like, our parents were so strict, like, you were scared to get in trouble.
Yeah.
And he goes to talk to my mom in the kitchen. And then he goes, Guadalupe, ven pa' acá.
Uh-oh.
He grabs a napkin.
Oh, you could just see it?
I guess, I don't know. I don't know if I rubbed so hard I don't know. But he grabs a napkin, he wets it. He goes, "Tráete los labios." And I'm like, so I did, and there it was. I must have not taken it off right. He's like, "You were wearing
You
makeup."
had a little bit. He noticed.
And I'm
I'm
just
gonna
like,
really make her lips right now.
so that's what
You want some
I'm
blush?
But we grew up with strict traditions, and that they stuck to them.
Yeah.
And even now, it was really really hard for me with my oldest daughter, because the fact that when you've been divorced, each parent has their own opinions and approvals. And so when we moved, she's like, "Mom, what do you think if I wear makeup?" And I was like,
How old is she?
"No." This was a year ago. She's 14 now. So I was like, "No, ma'am." I said, "No, I wasn't allowed till I was 15. You're not allowed till you're 15. Lo and behold, I come home one weekend and she's got a full kit. And I'm like, "What the heck?" So you got to sometimes pick your battles and find a balance.
Yeah.
But that was hard for me because I was raised with strict traditions, and I tried to instill those in my family.
Because it makes them look so much older. You see 12 years
Yeah.
old and they look 17.
Yeah.
Because
But
they're
you
wearing
also
makeup.
have all these influences as well nowadays.
You know,
Everybody's
nowadays,
doing makeup.
Instagram,
Yes.
You know, teaching them how to put it on. They have like the
Look
best
at the
makeup
reality
now.
shows. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
So it's hard for us Hispanic women that were raised with strict traditions, you know, when those things happen. So we were raised no closed doors in the house. No closed doors. Mom and dad always knew what we were and what we were doing.
I didn't even have a door. No. Bathroom door.
yeah, there's a bathroom door.
But it didn't lock.
I mean, my dad was even like, "Okay, if you're gonna go to the school dance, I'm gonna chaperone." I'm like, "Oh."
You have to go to the dance.
Oh, and you know, when I this was already after 15. Okay, you're gonna meet up. You're gonna have a date. Okay, I'm driving. I'm like, oh my god. But in order to have those experiences, like they were very involved. I was a cheerleader to every game that we went to. If it was away, there was Dad right there in the stands. So it was just being raised with strict parents, and I understand it now. I did it when I was younger. I was like, oh, my dad's so mean, and my dad's so strict. But it made me the parent
Were
that I
your
am
friends
now.
afraid of your dad?
No! Everybody
No?
loved my dad. I was like, you don't know, I'm at home.
No, everybody was afraid of my dad. I mean, he started getting used to guys because of the band, right? It was all a little band getting together. So one time we had a rehearsal and we were late. And my sister and I were in the car, in the back of it, we're like, oh, we're gonna get in so much trouble. We're late. And the guys driving, they're like laughing, like, yeah, we can hear the screaming right now, the screaming of pain. And I said, yeah, and then he'll get us. And then he went, everybody was afraid of my dad. Everybody.
But yes, that we were all raised with strict parents, and that's one of the things that my kids will tell you I'm the strict mom. I'm the strict one.
Good.
But I'm also the fair one. I'm really about let's teach them positive, or let's teach them what did they learn from that experience, or what could we have done different.
When you're fair, you're strict, but you're fair, and they will respect that.
Yeah.
And so now it's
But you do gotta make sure your kids are a little scared of you.
yes.
A little. Yes, because if they're not scared of you, they'll run all
La
over.
chancla.
Yeah, la chancla and la mosca. You gotta make sure they're.
That is very traditional.
Or just the ojitos, like.
Yeah. Oh, my dad.
Oh, in public, you knew the eyes.
Yes.
Shoot, I'm in trouble.
My dad he never, ever hit me. Ever. All he had to say is, ¿Te quieres ir a tu cuarto? With that, I knew I was in trouble. And I would be like, oh crap, I better shut up, I better be quiet, I better, whatever I was doing, I
Whatever
knew.
it was for you.
Yeah, but he never hit me ever. So, I knew it. By that tone, ¿Te quieres ir a tu cuarto? I knew I was like, done.
For the rest of your life?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna take a quick little break and listen to some more of Patsy's music and go into what Patsy's got going on, because she's got a lot of things.
New stuff.
Yes, new stuff coming up. She's got a couple of shows of her own, so we're gonna talk about all those in a few minutes. I'm gonna play one of my favorites. Here we go. I love this song.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we're gonna take a quick break. Cheers, Patsy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I did it too hard.
Thank you, Veronica. This was from JD Supermarket.
Yes,
Thank you,
thank
JD's
you.
and Ronnie. I'm gonna get people calling you Ronnie now.
Ronnie. When I call her, they're gonna be like, "Hey, Ronnie."
You want a tamal?
Yes, I'm gonna get a tamal.
Yeah.
Either one, I like them both.
What are they?
There's chicken. There's pork.
Just chicken and pork. Here, let me grab y'all some.
Oh, I'm gonna sing Amor Eterno.
Oh,
It's my favorite song.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
Por un amor. Okay. But I don't think the third one, but I would say the third.
Well, I'm gonna do La Verde.
Okay.
I'll do Cuckoo. Okay. Want to go next one?
Yes, let's do it together.
That way we can go.
In fact, we'll have a run at it bonita after we're done.
We'll get the harmonies down. I'll probably do it in D. I don't know.
Girl, I don't know notes. No, you have to show me tone, like sing me a tone. I'm like, okay, go.
I do kind of low.
Yeah? Oh, okay. I think I
Oh, you sing high?
Yeah. So that'd be perfect.
Well, I will sing with you guys. I want to scare everybody.
Okay, you can
We're
dance.
gonna get our wheel off.
Other than that,
Yeah, I'll get the background. Me corren después.
Right?
Be like,
He's gonna be, Mario's gonna be like, what the heck are you, what is Alma influencing you?
Vuélveme a querer, no me lastimes.
I actually wrote a song about my dad. It's on the album called Papacito Mío.
Okay.
and then you about him.
No saber más de ti.
Can you find it on there so we can listen to it?
It's on here.
Oh,
Vuélveme a querer,
I'll put it when she
I was
starts
copying
talking.
out.
no me destruyas. Déjame decir cómo te vivo por el frío de tu alma. Como la
How long have you been here? I was gonna say San Antonio.
Well, I didn't say it.
Near San Antonio.
Oh.
I
So
was
you have to commute all the time?
Mark.
I would have to.
I know.
I was living in Austin. And it's funny when they moved to Cicelo, they Clover brought me on board a month later.
How long drive is that?
It's an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Thank you again for joining us. And I do want to mention again that this is brought to you by the Covert family and Dan Covert. You can find us at Buick GMC in Austin, Texas, and Covert Ford and Chevy in Hutto, Texas. Keep following us. Keep watching our shows. We've got great things coming up on Cafecito con Alma. We've got some concerts coming up. We have a lot planned out. We also have a charity we're getting involved with and a nonprofit that we're creating. So we're doing a lot to give back to the community. These shows are for you all, and it's all presented by the Covert family.
Thank you.
One of our new sponsors, JD Supermarket. And I'd like to make a shout out to Raul Sanchez. He is the owner of Hebrews Coffee. And he actually wrote my jingle. The new Cafecito con Alma jingle that you hear, he wrote that. So thank you, Raul. We're looking forward to new projects with you. And you got a project
Are we
going on.
gonna
too.
see him on Sunday? I think he's gonna.
Is he going to be joining us?
I think he's joining us on Sunday.
Okay. He's so fun to be around. I love
I
him.
love his music. He's got a show too that I just
Yes.
did. The show was awesome.
I had Raul on my show about 2 weeks ago.
That's right.
Yes, and then we did a project together with David Lee, and that one just aired last Friday, and he wrote the jingle. He's also in the works of a jingle for a couple other places around here in Austin, so we're going to be hearing more of his jingles. He's really good at what he
some of
does.
the music he's going to be releasing. Wait till it hits the airwaves. It's going to be awesome.
Yes, so we're
Feliz
going to have
Navidades.
Yes, thank you, Raul. And we're going to have to bring him back because there's so many projects that we're doing with him. If you haven't tried Hebrews Coffee, you need to pick one up. You can soon find it at JD Supermarkets.
Delicious.
It is great. And with some whipped cream.
Oh.
So Patsy, share with us. You've got some projects going on. What do you have going on right now?
Yes. Well, the latest thing was, of course, it's the release of my new album, Dame Tu Corazón. And,
Which is right here.
Yeah, it's right down there. Yeah.
See, Vita's a great partner in crime. Look at that. This is Patsy's new CD.
Yes.
Tell us about this new CD.
Well, I wasn't going to release a CD because I was always playing and touring and so busy. And then when the virus hit, the virus hit, and I was like, wow, everything started getting pushed. You know, gigs were being moved and moved. Of course, now either they were completely canceled or they're going to be next year. Because they kept saying, well, they moved it like 2 months, then 2 months, and then finally, no, it's not going to happen. So I started watching television more, watching the news, and then I started finishing songs that I had.
My 2-year-old.
This is live, guys.
We said it was really wrong.
Time of all things.
Well, she's 7 years old and she just got her first phone, so she calls the world.
Oh no!
Just in case.
Yeah, stand there, because I bet you she's gonna do it one more time.
Yeah, I figured. I was like, let me.
Yeah.
She's ready. Vinny's ready.
My partner in crime.
I'm ready to turn.
Y la otra, allá en la esquina. No. La tienen castigada. No.
She's in timeout.
Okay.
She hadn't been listening to us.
No, she's not. Well, so So I started getting inspired to start writing. I write a lot of songs. My last album, I'd written a lot of songs, and I had started a song on my father on the anniversary of his death, and then I hadn't been able to touch it. And then when the virus came in and everything, I started getting inspired. I'd go to bed at night and I'd hear the melodies and the words. I was like, I have to get up and write it. So finally, the birds are singing in the morning, and the song's done.
Wow.
So once I finished that, I had other ideas and other songs because I'm watching the news and everything, and I'm seeing, now that I'm watching more news, I was like, what's going on here? Alternate universes, stuff on Facebook. I said, this can't be true. So I research it, and sure enough, it was a bunch of lies, and people are getting all mad on Facebook and angry and fighting with each other, and I said, this is a bunch of fake news. It's ridiculous. Tearing us apart. Tearing families apart.
Yeah.
People that have been friends on Facebook, they were like, well, get off, I'm gonna block you, hey, come to my house and I'll show you.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
you see all these people fighting online, and I'd see these posts and they weren't true, so I started telling people, look, before you repost something or retweet something or
Make
repeat
sure
it,
it's real.
make sure it's real. Because everything I researched was not true.
Yeah.
And they teach you that in school. They teach you that the
Don't
internet
everything on
is
the
full
internet.
of junk. So everything that, when people tell me, oh yeah, I heard this, where'd you hear it?
The internet.
From somebody. Who told you that?
I mean,
Where did you get it?
even
It
to-
was a news thing. What news?
Yeah.
And because there's all these like so-called news things on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
And they're not real news. They're like, who are these people? Then you start researching them. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Fake.
So that's where Noticias Falsas came from?
Noticias Falsas just like popped out because I was so angry. And it's just a warning telling people, please make sure things are true before you repeat them because it's tearing our country apart.
Yeah.
And our country, we know, our families brought us here and it's a beautiful country, a wonderful country and all these opportunities. And now we're being torn apart.
Yeah.
And especially the whole thing about immigration and the wall, like,
And that was part of the reason why we did Cafecito con Alma and why we created a women's platform to it. We discuss different things, but we always include an artist. We discuss healthcare. We discuss sports. We discuss our heritage, our culture, our music, and we've done all kinds of different music. And thank you for joining us. You said there was also a special song that you wrote for your dad on here.
it's called Papacito Mio, and it's a mariachi style.
Yeah.
And I wrote it. Of course, it was the anniversary of his death. He already passed. But I had to be very real when I wrote it. I had to be truthful. And we were discussing my father was strict. Everybody was scared of him. So there was
I'm gonna play it real quick. You can keep talking.
there was a time that I was estranged from him for 8 years.
Oh wow.
And didn't talk to him or anything like that.
Wow.
But God brought us back together, and from that day on, we never fought or argued anything
Ever again.
ever again. And since then, I mean, my mother fought with him, my brothers, sisters, nieces, everyone fought with him. I never did. And it's not that I had to hold myself back. We just never disagreed or had a fight again.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize that until I released the song because I was sad about the time gone. And someone in an interview asked me, and I was like, we never fought again. We never even argued again. What a blessing is that? Because I had this real, tumultuous relationship with him before, that was so bad that I ran away, And then what happened? I had this beautiful relationship. He walked me down the aisle.
But I do have to say sometimes our parents were raised a certain way, and then they try to be better parents and raised us a certain way. And we again try to be better parents and raise our kids a certain way. But I will say, regardless of what may have happened or how I felt when I was a kid, Dad is a great man. He's a great man. And I say that, I don't have my parents here. My parents are all in Washington. My family's in Washington.
Oh, but you're so lucky because I lost both of mine. They're both gone.
And,
But they're in heaven. So I gotta be good because I want to be with them.
And they're watching you.
Yes, they are.
We're so proud of everything you're doing.
Yes. Because the result was that everything came to fruition with my father, and we had a beautiful relationship until the very end. I was at his bedside, until the very end, and that is a God-given gift there.
And a lot of the times they didn't know better. They were learning as they went. They just wanted to be better than we all want to be better than what we grew up with.
Yeah.
You know, but we also want to keep those traditions because those are great memories and we want to share those with our friends and our families. And so that's what I love about our heritage. That's what I love about our culture.
Yeah, and it's the family. And Tejano music, I always say Tejano music is family music.
Yes.
Because you can play Tejano music and the abuelitas, and they're there with the little 2-year-old on the lap and the 2-year-old. Everybody's enjoying it.
Yes.
Everybody
And I would love doing the festivals because you'd see the whole family. It just wasn't one genre. It just wasn't one age group. It was everybody loving it. Kind of like country music, you know? And Tejano music is like that, and that's why I embraced it. When I started in music, I knew all the Tejano music on trumpet. I didn't sing it, but I knew it on trumpet. So it was
Wow. Do you still play trumpet?
yeah. I picked it up again because of my friend Shelly Lattice.
I love Shelly.
Shelly and I, we go way back.
You know, I met Shelly over the phone through Joe Morales.
Oh,
Joe,
yeah.
we love Joe. Thank you.
Yes, Joe, thank you. I'm doing an interview later with him.
Oh, really?
Be listening between 4 and 5.
He was announcing us throughout the week.
Oh, he's wonderful.
He's
The
a big
voice.
supporter of Cafecito con Alma.
That voice of his.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh. So he's like, that's it.
Joe, right? Hi. Did it make you light up right away?
Wow.
We hope to have Shelly Lattice on soon as well. She's
I'll
taking
tell
care
her.
of her mama.
I
well,
know,
I was
I know.
going back to
I know.
how she's such a positive inspiration too. I spoke to her one time and we were on the phone for almost 2 hours.
I believe
We had
it.
so much in common. I was like, girl, I can talk to you all day. I gotta cook dinner.
But she's very protective of her mom.
Yes.
And that's why she takes this very serious about the virus. And So she really avoids going out, being around a lot of people, because her mom's in her 80s and her mom is the sweetest lady.
Yes, and she also has done some stuff in healthcare, and she's
Yes.
very, very
Yes.
intrigued by healthcare. She loves caring for people, and you can tell she's
got
a
a
beautiful
wonderful
person.
heart.
Yes.
Wonderful heart, yeah. I mean,
So-
I did her quinceanera.
Oh, you did?
She did my wedding.
How crazy!
And we just saw each other all, I mean, from the very beginning. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, she's an awesome person. And so you've got a couple of projects that you do as well. I always know you got a list of things. You did a Patsy Cline thing.
We had all these
She
shows
dressed the
booked.
part and everything. The short hair.
And you know, it was another accident. They're like, oh, why did you want to do Patsy Cline? Well, what happened was, the first band I ever played with was Blue Harmony. That was the name of the band from high school.
Okay.
So I was always doing Tejano. I was doing Fiesta Texas for 10 years. So I did a lot of variety. Well, the thing about Tejano musicians is they're very versatile. They can play anything.
Yeah.
You notice they can do country, they can do rock, they can do jazz. I mean,
Anything.
they're versatile, and my musicians are like that. So we started doing all of these conventions and corporate gigs where we played everything, but if you gave the name...
Girl, is that you throwing a grito?
That was
Is that Hispanic or what?
oh yeah, it's my Mexican hat.
It comes out.
It just comes out. Whoa, down.
Hi.
There. Okay, I'll do the other side. Yeah, so my mom was Anglo. Didn't speak any English. No, but it was an accident because I was doing these gigs with Blue Harmony, just doing variety and stuff. And this restaurant, they were friends of mine. They go, could you put together a 50s show? And I was like, 50s, wow. And he introduced me to this guy that had been in Vegas, and he did the whole bit in wigs and makeup and costumes. And
Wow, how fun.
he did, and yeah, fun, okay? That's the thing about musicians or our personality types.
Yeah.
We want to have fun. He goes, Patsy, have you ever done anything like that? I go, no. He goes, would you be open to it? I'm like, yeah. I never wore a wig or anything.
Are you the type of person like, I'll go to my hairdresser, do whatever you want, I trust you. Let's do something
Oh
crazy.
no, I'm taking, I take pictures.
I'm a big risk taker.
I just cut off 12 inches of her
Oh my God.
It's cute.
But Mario saying it's too short.
I mean, Mark
I
I met me with my hair even shorter than this.
Oh,
I had
really?
like a bob.
Oh.
Yeah, when he met me. So to him, he's used to seeing
The
me
short hair.
But yeah, I mean, I had left it.
Oh
and
my
it grew
goodness.
so long, and I was like, okay, time to cut it. And 12 inches.
Wow. Yeah, I'm drastic like that too.
Yes.
I'll grow it all the way out, and then my husband hates when I do that though.
You know, my husband's okay with it. He likes short hair.
My husband loves long hair.
Oh, that's funny.
So what other shows do you have going on? You do well. I'm sorry. I'm gonna
Oh, oh.
backtrack.
Oh,
You
so
have
we were doing the 50 show, and I dressed up in these different characters, and I did Connie Francis because it was an Italian restaurant. Connie was Italian, so I got the wig, you know, and the outfit, and I posted the pictures on Facebook. Well, a theater out of Fredericksburg saw the pictures and thought I was doing Patsy Cline because they thought I looked like Patsy Cline. So they get hold of me and they call me and they say, "You're Patsy Cline." Yes. Do you do Patsy Cline? And I did a Patsy Cline number during the band. I knew a song, and I was like, "Yes." Okay, well, we'd like to hire you to come and do a tribute. And I'm like, "Okay." I just said okay. And I'm like, well, how many songs do I have to do? It was just 4. I was like, because you're going to be with other artists that do tributes. I was like, okay. Okay. So I'm like, all right. And they gave me the date and said, and you're going to come on the same day. We'll do a little sound check and that's it. They didn't even hear me. They booked me without even hearing me sing.
wow.
So
Because you had the look.
So I just started studying her and listening to her music and getting the outfits together. And I went over there and we did the run through. I did the show and they go, great, we'll hire you again. And then we'll hire you again. And then another theater called me. And then a country band calls me and goes, we want to be your Patsy Cline band.
Oh
And we think you should do a whole show, a whole hour show. And I was like, okay.
my God! Do you ever say no?
I
I
know.
was like, so I learned 16.
I need to ask her for something.
No, so
What can I ask her for?
right?
You don't tell me no.
Like she was like, you want a tamale? Okay.
Yeah. So you want orange juice? Okay.
No, so when I called her and she goes, I have all these things booked, but hold on, we're gonna pick a day in between that week. I'm like, oh my God, like literally. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, she had something going on.
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh, we're gonna move this one around so we could do Friday with you. I was like,
Thank
okay.
you
No,
for being
thank
here with
you.
us.
I'm so glad I got to do this.
Yes, it's
Because
been a
I've been doing a
blast.
lot of things where I just go and perform, which is very sad for my band. You know, because people are afraid of having a whole group, so they
Yeah.
have me just go and sing mariachis or sing with a track, and it's very short. You know, I just go in with my mask, take it off to sing, and then I leave.
Yeah.
You know. So, but we do have our first actual group performance October the 1st and 2nd with Street Talk Band. It's a band that I play with. It's a giant band with a giant brass section.
Wow.
And Jaime Vidal is the owner of the Street Talk Band, and we're going to be doing that show in San Antonio. So that's the first week of October. That's going to be the first
That's gonna be
time
the first.
to perform with the big band. Meanwhile, my band and I are going to be doing some music videos to promote the new album. So they're happy about that.
Yeah.
At least we're getting together.
Yeah.
We miss them. I miss my
That's your
guys.
second family.
It is.
Yes.
And
Okay.
they're super, super nice guys, super talented guys, real responsible, you know, blessed to have guys like that.
Yeah.
So before we close out, I wanted to discuss one more thing you shared with me, and I think it's important. So Patsy is big on being a woman advocate, and you shared that you're doing something gospel with a group of girls.
Yes, it's a project we're working on with. It's a bunch of girls, and they're upcoming girls that you won't even recognize their names, but it was put together, and some of them they started posting their songs and videos, and they blew me away.
Wow.
These girls are talented. Now the virus hit right after we were getting stuff together, but we're planning to do a gospel song, kind of a "We Are the World" type thing.
Yeah.
But it grew from like 3 girls to 4 girls to like 15 girls.
And it's
Wow.
crazy because I've been partnering up with Myra D from the Valley, and she's got her own label and she's got artists that she manages as well. She told me about it, and I was like, Patsy just told me about that. I
Well,
said,
maybe-
you all are involved in that? Because isn't Geneva going to be on it?
And maybe you should be in it too. Because it's just showing you know,
And I'm gonna call you Myra. I was supposed to call her
Yes.
back. She texted me last
oh, I
night.
remember Myra's song too. Beautiful. I mean, it's all bringing up the sisterhood together.
Yes.
And it's on a spiritual side because we are all sisters.
Yes.
You know, our souls are all connected.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing we get to do. And we just want to spread the word like that. We're going to end up being a choir, I think. Really. But hey, why not?
Yeah.
That just shows that we can all get together like that. And Rebecca Valadez, I think Shelly is too. I think Shelly's in
Yes.
that too. So, not sure who else.
There's a big list. She was telling me some
Yeah.
of the artists.
This is
There's a
like-
lot of up and coming and also veteran singers, all female, and it's a
All
gospel
female.
song.
Sorry,
So-
guys. You can do it too.
You
can
don't
do
be a
the-
copycat.
You can do the brotherhood. The brotherhood.
Brotherhood.
We're the sisterhood. No problem.
Right? Well, I'm really excited to hear about that project, and I know we'll talk. But thank you again for joining us. Anything
Thank
else
you
you
for
want to
having
share
me.
with everybody before we part?
Oh, just my new album. I'm promoting the new album, Dame Tu Corazón. You can download it on any of your favorite different platforms, you know, iTunes, Spotify. You can also order the physical CD from cdbaby.com. You can visit my website, patsytorres.com. You can also download it there or order my CD. If you want a signed CD, then you can go to my Facebook Messenger and give me your email address, and I will send you the signed CD. You can order it through me direct. And then if you get on my website, you'll see I've got all kinds of goodies. We were talking about collectibles. Because us artists have been around a while, we have collectibles. Because we have stuff that like, wow, because of COVID, we've been
Yes.
going through the attic and everything, and we found pictures and t-shirts and stuff like, wow, once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
So, because Shelly was doing that too.
She did the
found all
retro
this-
thing too.
She found all this stuff from way back.
Mhm.
So she has it available, but once our stuff's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's it. So the
And we're
collector's
gonna
items.
have Patsy sign this, and we're gonna raffle it off. She'll have some at JD Supermarket too on Sunday.
Yeah.
Patsy and I will be singing at JD Supermarket's grand opening on Sunday at 11 a.m. And thank you to JD Supermarkets
Thank
for
you.
sponsoring the food today.
Yes.
And to Hebrews, Raul,
Thank you,
for
Raul.
writing our jingle. And to the Covert family, for making all this possible. If you need a car, you can give who a call?
Mario Juarez
And you can find him where?
at Covert Buick GMC here in Austin, Texas.
And we also have Covert Ford and Chevy in Hutto, Texas.
Or message me. You can message me and I will get you a great deal, I promise. I really will.
A referral?
Yes.
Thank you everybody for joining us. I hope you enjoyed Cafecito con Alma, our women's platform.
Gracias.
And we're going to be back with a lot more coming up. Next week, we will have Broken Arrow and we will have Ladez at San Antonio. Woo! We're going to be partnering up with Raul with Ladez as well. So, hasta la próxima. Thank you for joining us.
God bless you.
Bye, guys.
Happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
Woo!
This is a sad song. I released that because of all the people.
What did you do?
Just close it.
Okay.